Hey there, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you clicking on that video as always. And we are back with another weekly wears video. If this is your first time finding this channel, my name is Gerard, and on this channel we talk about all things fragrance. We do videos like I'm doing today, which drop every single Monday. It's just a quick look back on the previous week and all the fragrances that I wore for each day. So if that's content that you think you want to see more of, please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on bell notifications so you're updated whenever I upload new content. Without further ado, let's jump right into the list, starting with Sunday. So Sunday was a pretty chill day. I just wanted an easy grab from my shelf, and the scent I ended up choosing is Ralph's Club Parfum. This is a fruity, slightly green, woody, aromatic type fragrance. Gonna be a little familiar. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's just really well done. This is one of those fragrances that is easy for the office, but can transition seamlessly to a social event. So if you're going out after work, meeting friends for drinks or something like that, maybe some dinner with your wife, this is gonna be the perfect fragrance for the situations like that. Apple, clary sage, and cashmere are some of the notes in here. Apple's a tough note to get right. It's one of those notes that can either smell super synthetic or be really well done. And I think it's important to not overemphasize the sweetness of the apple, because personally, I don't get a ton of sweetness when I smell an apple. I get an earthiness to it. So when you do it more in the vein of the earthy apple, like if you were apple picking and just pulling it off the branch, that's kind of how it's done here. It's just really well blended and just an overall really nice scent. The cashmere offers this slightly sweet, ambery, synthetic feel. It's a little fuzzy, really nice. Really like what they did here. I like this more than the Eau de Parfum. They may be redundant if you had both in your collection. I don't own the Eau de Parfum. I went straight to the Parfum, and I'm happy I did. I get pretty good longevity from this. I get roughly a day's work out of it. It's not going to project like a monster. It's going to sit a little bit closer to the skin after the first hour or so. The scent overall, really nice, really interesting, and glad to have it in the collection. Ralph's Club Parfum. So on Monday, it was important for me to not get noticed with my fragrance. I just kind of wanted to fly under the radar. Believe it or not, having a large collection of fragrance, being passionate about fragrance, there are days where you just kind of feel like you don't want to wear anything. I tend to reach for this in those situations. Scent I'm talking about is Molecule 01 from Eccentric Molecules. This is a woody musk that is just super clean, easy to wear. You might hear some people sort of talk about this as sort of a layering component to help you improve the longevity. See, I'm getting in there right now. That woody musk is really nice. To improve longevity on fragrances that might be underwhelming in the longevity department. I can't speak to that working every time. I want to think it works, but it's one of those things that, I think it really comes down to your skin chemistry and how fragrances react to your particular skin. A fragrance that might last all day on you might only last maybe 5 or 6 hours on me. So that is subjective in a lot of ways. ISO-E Super is the only note here, so keep that in mind, but a lot of people go anosmic to this fairly quickly. Some people don't smell it at all. The day I wore this, I walked into the room and my wife just said, "What are you wearing today? It smells so good." And I couldn't even smell it, to be honest. So there are days where I can smell this and there are days where I can't smell it at all, but then I'll get a waft of it 7 hours in. And as it heats up, maybe I'm moving and just kind of going about my business and I get a waft of it. That's what I love about this scent, is it tends to do that. And just a really nice, easygoing fragrance that, I don't know, I think everyone should probably have this in the collection. Molecule 01 from Eccentric Molecules. This next scent was actually sent to me by Kingdom Fragrances. I just did a impressions / kind of a review of this fragrance in comparison to the fragrance that this is based off of. Scent I'm talking about is Imperium from Fragrance World. Grapefruit, vetiver, and vanilla are some of the notes in here. And pretty obvious what this is cloning is straight up Roja Dove's Elysium Parfum Cologne. So what do I get from this? Now, in the air, I talk about it more in that video, but for me, I'm not the biggest fan of the scent DNA. It's just not my favorite. It doesn't mean I don't like it, but for me, the scent DNA of the Roja Dove of this is lacking sweetness, and I know that's why a lot of people like it. However, to me, it comes across as more buttoned up, and it's versatile. I would still give it the versatile designation. I just wouldn't want to reach for this in like a more fun, chill situation. If I was going out with friends or something, I just wouldn't find myself wanting to reach for this. I think there would be others that I'd like to reach for more. But in a buttoned up situation, if I was like in a suit and tie or a business meeting all day, you could pull this off. Now, on my skin, it didn't have the best effect. It didn't last that long. Number one, I was a little taken back by the longevity. But I will say, with some of these UAE products, initially, I don't get the best longevity from some of them. But then as they sort of macerate, sit on my shelf for a few months, and I use them and a little air gets in the bottle, the longevity tends to sort of correct itself. And I find that to be the case with a lot of the UAE fragrances I have. Don't know why, don't know what's leading to that, but I would imagine it's probably going to be the same case with this one. So I'd love to revisit this in 4 or 5 months and just see if it's changed in terms of performance. My wife really liked this one quite a bit, which for me was like, damn, she likes it and I'm okay with it. But, you know, this is one that I don't mind throwing on knowing my wife likes it. I would definitely say if you are in the market for Elysium cologne, then definitely check Imperium from Fragrance World. Now, speaking of fragrances compared to Elysium, I don't think this was meant to be a direct clone of Elysium either, but this next scent that I wore is one of my favorites in my collection. And I like this DNA more, although they are very close. The Elysium and this DNA, quality-wise, the Elysium is far better, far superior, and it should be. That is a very expensive fragrance. And this is a cheapie. Scent I'm talking about is Hugo Reversed. Grapefruit, rosemary, and vetiver are some of the notes in here. These canteen-style bottles I'm not crazy about. I like them. This gets in the way a little bit. Oh, man. So this is more playful. This is more laid back. This is more synthetic, but synthetic in a way that I kind of enjoy. As I said, it's a similar DNA to the Roja and the Imperium with more sweetness. So you're getting the same feeling here from the grapefruit, from the vetiver, little bit earthy, little bit sweet, but this is more fun. This is more casual. This is not going to be a buttoned up scent. I would not wear this with a suit. But that DNA, that type of DNA with the grapefruit, the vetiver, and sort of, as I said, maybe it's because I had this first and it reminds me of this, but lacking the sweetness. And I like this scent so much, especially for what you pay. This is an incredible summer fragrance, so do not sleep on this one. Periodically, you will be able to find it at like a Burlington or a Marshall's, TJ Maxx. This is one worth grabbing from online discounters because it's that damn good and it's always inexpensive. Longevity is not going to be anything outstanding. You're going to get roughly, you know, maybe not even a full work day before this fades out. For me, it doesn't matter. It's so cheap, spray heavy. It projects really nicely for the first couple of hours. And I like this one quite a bit. We'll probably always have this in my collection. Hugo Reversed. So this next one I featured in my last rack store pickup from Burlington. This was a recommendation from you guys, and what can I say? You guys nail it every time. Scent I am talking about is Cristiano Ronaldo's CR7 Game On. Papaya, elemi resin, and tonka bean are some of the notes in here. Love the atomizer on here. Fantastic atomizer. What is it with cheapies having the best atomizers? Cheapies and Dior. I mean, come on, guys. Some of these mid-level, you know, designer fragrances that some people will tell you are the better ones, you know, pay $50 and above and you're getting a better fragrance than a $25 fragrance. I'm not sure that's always the case, especially with these, because this, again, great atomizer, great scent overall. It is strong with you. It's the Stronger With You DNA. Less so in the opening. It's going to immediately remind you of something like a Stronger With You. It's a little fresher. It has a little bit more fruitiness, a little more unique fruitiness to it. Coming from that papaya, there's an ice note in here. It's a little bit cooling. It gives that effect. So for me, this is more, I wore this on a fairly warm day and it worked. I probably wouldn't reach for Stronger With You on a really warm day. That is more of a winter fragrance to me. It's a little nuttier. It's a little warmer. It's a little spicier. So this is an interesting take on that DNA. And then in the dry down, it's much closer to Stronger With You than it is in the opening. An absolute steal of a fragrance for just $25. And it's actually a few bucks cheaper at the Perfume Spot. I'll be sure to link it down below. So this is just amazing. I mean, $25, Stronger With You. Great longevity. This lasted all day on me, and I was getting kind of whiffs of it throughout the day. Really nice fragrance overall. Glad you guys recommended this one to me. I judge this one unfairly, being a celebrity fragrance. You know, I just feel like a lot of times they can be money grabs. They're just slapping some celebrity's face on a bottle and don't care what's inside of it. That may be the case still. I'm not saying that's not the case with this. However, the juice inside says otherwise, that there was some thought that went into this. Obviously, it smells a lot like Stronger With You, but it's well done. So, and on a budget, can't really beat it. CR7, Game On. This next one I wore out. I met some friends out for dinner on Friday, and I would sort of describe this one as a classy, elegant summer night out fragrance that can work year round, but summer evenings is probably when I'm going to get the most use out of this one. Scent I am talking about is Tom Ford's Costa Azzurra Parfum. I really like this bottle. You know, it's gold can be a bit much for some, but I don't know. It's just sort of the style of the bottle that I really like. Bright lemon, woody cypress in here. Decent atomizer as well. One more for good luck. And dries down into this ambery labdanum that adds this sexy edge to it. It's almost a little bit of a leather quality to it in the dry down. That is just, this gets super sexy, and it's a summer scent. Just the right amount of sweetness. It's light on the sweetness. It's subtle. It feels like it might be coming from the amber. So it's not like a vanillic sweetness or even a tonka bean sweetness. It's nothing like that. But it makes this more versatile for dressing up. So it has this classy edge to it, as I said, that makes this feel like more of a dressed up black collared shirt, nice jeans, maybe loafers or something, or a clean white sneaker, going out and meeting friends for a night, grabbing sushi or something like that, going on a date with someone new. I think this would work. This really projects. Be cautious of the sprays. I oversprayed this when I was testing it out, and I thought I was going to choke myself out while I was editing. So this does perform really well. This and Noir Extreme Parfum are the best parfums in the signature line, in my opinion. And this one just works. Got a compliment the night I wore it. Love the stuff. Tom Ford, Costa Azzurra Parfum. So this next one was kindly sent to me by the folks over at Louis Cardin. The scent I am talking about is Louis Cardin Credible Homme. And, you know, I do have periodically companies reach out to me. They want to send me products, and I will accept those products in a lot of cases, especially if it's one that's been sort of on my radar. This house has been on my radar, so I was excited when they reached out. But I will say I don't talk about all the fragrances that I try. Doesn't mean that they're good or bad in every situation, but in this case, I felt compelled to talk about it because for the price and what this is, incredible. Not the best atomizer, but what I get from this. And immediately you're going to be reminded, if you've smelled Silver Mountain Water, this has a niche-like quality to it, which I was impressed with. like immediately. I was like, whoa, like I couldn't believe that this was only $50. What I first get is just this floral, this creamy floral orange, a slight woodiness. It smells like vacation to me. The day I wore this, I took my daughter to the movies. So it was like kind of a daddy-daughter date. And I was at the movies. So I was like, I wasn't sure about if it was going to be packed, if there was going to be people there. I didn't want to like turn anyone off with my fragrance. So I didn't go too heavy on the sprays. I went like 4 or 5 sprays. This wears sort of funny. So it's 1 minute you think it's light, and then the next minute you just get this waft of it and you're like, whoa, like that smells incredible. The sillage on this is stunning. As it dries down, it becomes a little bit more powdery on my skin. I don't think you need to like powdery fragrances. I don't think it's too powdery. This is an eau de parfum concentration. So yeah, I was impressed with the longevity, number one, but more so above average projection wise, especially for this type of scent and this type of DNA. So it's fresh, it's uplifting, it's a little bit sweet, just the right amount of sweetness, but the sweetness is coming from those florals. That creamy orange floral, just so good, so good. You guys actually can use my code on this. It's GG10. I asked them if they would send me a code for you guys, so they gave it to me, GG10, and you can save 10% off your order. And like I said, it's a $50 bottle. Save yourself a little bit of dough. This is one that you guys definitely want to check out. Credible Homme from Louis Cardin. That's all I have today, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below what your weekly rotation was. Always love hearing what you guys are wearing. Gives me ideas as to what I might grab next. And you guys know what you're talking about. So drop it in the comment section down below. If you like what you saw today, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit that bell notification so you'll update it whenever I upload new content. But until then, have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video.